Sinking to my knees to thank the gods, I see the chariot wheel lying in the dirt. I wonder why no one else has noticed it. 2 spokes are broken. The whole thing is buckled beyond repair. I was there this morning when Rotty checked everything, then checked it all again. He wouldn't have missed damage like this. He wouldn't have put the king's life at risk. No, he wouldn't, I think, my gaze resting on the palace steps. But there are those that would. If the pharaoh dies, I is the next living male heir. This, I think bitterly, means Kiki is worth more to his ambitious godfather dead than alive. The healing ladies spend the next day tending to Kiki. From our house we see pots and baskets carried in, fresh incense, linens, herbs and potions. The more I think about how the right wheel sheared off, the more certain I am it was deliberate. I, keen to place the blame, was already found his target. Poor Rotty was dragged from the stables last night and beaten with his own horsewhip. Maya brings us news that we're closing the shutters against the midday sun. He confirms my thoughts. Kiki's head wound is deep, to the bone. They've bound up his leg in case it's fractured. It's very lucky. He could have been killed. Maya's one of the few allowed to Kiki's bedside. It's not nearly as much as fun as hurling pomegranates or hunting ostrich, but he shows equal devotion to it. He's blessed to have such a friend, I say. He's asking for you, Lysandra. Mama stares. I'm suddenly chilled. I'm certain he wants to talk more about his dream. Kiki's bedchamber is the coolest part of the palace. It catches the breeze from the river, and facing northeast it only gets the earliest rays of sun. Kiki is awake. His eyes are night dark from the medicine he's taken, though I'm not sure if it's helping much. He's fidgety and irritable. Leave us, he tells the healing ladies, who crouch at the edges of the room. Kiki doesn't speak again until he's very sure we're alone, and even then he lowers his voice. I wonder who he thinks might be out there, eavesdropping. It's not hard to guess. Lysandra, the conversation we had about my dream, Kiki says. You haven't told anyone, have you? Just Maya, I reply, who probably knew about it before I did. Good. I don't want people to think me weak. Weak? I'm startled. So is Maya when I catch his eye. There's no taint in dream reading. It's a tradition as old as the hills. Kiki interrupts. A window into the afterlife. Yes, I know what it means. But everyone assumes I'm dying. You told me the door in your dream was closed, I reminded him. You're not ready for that journey yet. Oh, I came close to it yesterday, didn't I? There are parts of his dream that concern me, yes. He is in danger from something or someone. Perhaps yesterday wasn't an accident after all, I confess. Kiki frowned. The stable boy was slack in his work, so I heard. It wasn't his fault, I argue. He checked your chariot before the race, and there was nothing wrong. Someone else must have tampered with it. I glanced at Maya, hoping he'd agree. But he's pacing the room, as alert as a snake. He stops in front of the windows, gestures for us to be quiet. I hold my breath as he listens at the shutters, then flings them open in one swift movement. All we can hear is the patter of feet as whoever was out there listening runs away. Kiki's right, Maya says. No more talk of dreams. We don't talk of the accident again either. By the time the moon's waned, Kiki's hobbling around the palace as if nothing happened. He's cut himself a new walking stick to mark the occasion. Word is he's also trying to show more interest in the running of the kingdom. I wonder what I and Horemheb make of this change. One night in the orange glow of Mama's cooking fire, Maya takes me aside to tell me the new arrangement isn't going well. I don't listen to him, he confesses. All the decisions still come from I or Horemheb. When they can't agree, they bribe Kiki for his support. But you're there at these meetings. Can't you speak up for him, I ask? I won't be there any more from tomorrow. I've been ordered out into the desert to find a site for Kiki's tomb. This worries me. Is he sick again? Maya shakes his head. He's healing well, but I say we shouldn't have started work on it years ago. It takes time and sweat to build a tomb fit for a pharaoh. This is true. Kiki's mother, father and beloved grandmother all have lavish golden chambers hewn from the desert floor. Their journeys onward to the next life will have been comfortable. Easy. Maya's right to want the same luxuries for Kiki. Yet I can't shake off the fact that I is behind this. The wayward chariot wheels, ears pressed to window shutters, the building of a grave. Nothing is what it seems. After a few days of searching, Maya finds the perfect site for the tomb. He comes home at sundown, exhausted but thrilled. "What's it like? The spot you've picked?" I ask. "I'll take you," he says, to my surprise. "Mother insists I wear sandals because of scorpions or snakes. I don't like anything on my feet, but for this, it's a small price to pay. Since Kiki's dream, I've always been wary of anything with a poisonous bite." Beyond the city walls, the desert stretches in all directions. We go west, heading towards a palace where river waters used to run. Nowadays, it's a dry valley, the sides of which are almost sheer rock. I know the spot well. It's only a short walk from the Thebes. It's where people of power and prestige are taken after their death to begin their journey to the world beyond. Maya walks with huge, raking strides. I keep asking him to slow down. We slither past a path already worn into the hillside by men working with Maya. "Which way?" I ask, when we reach the point where the valley divides. "East," Maya replies. I'm surprised. West-facing graves are more favoured because they catch the setting sun. After a steep climb, the tomb site comes into view. It's a few 100 feet up the cliff face, set back from the edge. Ropes and baskets and other signs of work list the ground below. Already they've made good progress. I can see the steps cut from the rock. The view out over the valley is magnificent. I'm proud of my football brother. It's a beautiful place to be at rest. My brother is smiling, though shaking his head as though I've not quite understood. It's only the beginning, he says. If my measurements are correct, then the real beauty will come from the sun.